YouTube, Real. Before I say anything else, happy Black History Month. Yeah, it's time. It's time you recognize. Still don't get it? That's alright. I got a reaction for you. This was sent in personally, and they wanted me to address this. And I figured what better time, because it is Black History Month. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you, let's talk about what it's like to be a black person in the U.S. So without further ado, let's jump on in.
Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So that Nike video, that went a little bit wider than I expected. A lot of people saw it that I didn't count on. That was supposed to be a joke for you guys that normally watch this. I didn't count on the extra couple 100,000 people seeing it, but I'm glad they did. Because, you know, they don't know the way I talk. They don't know that I tend to switch what I'm talking about in the middle of a video. So a lot of them saw the first few seconds, took off to the comment section, and started insulting me. And it's all okay. It was all worth it. Because one guy in his insults got me thinking. And I had time to think about it because I was coming back from town. That's like a 40-minute drive. The insult was that I was my IQ was 2 points higher than a plant, and that I needed to, or asked if I could open my hick mind and understand what it was like to be a black person in the United States. No, I can't. Neither can you. Neither can you. I know right now there's some white ally out there learning the terminology that say, no, I understand. No, you don't. You may get the statistics. You may understand the numbers. You may get that you know, there's a huge disparity in the criminal justice system, and because of that, it translates into more unjust violence being visited upon them. You may get that. You may understand that there's a huge income equality gap. You may get that translates into a lower standard of living, lower health care. You may understand all of that. Doesn't mean you understand what it's like to be black in the U.S.
With that, he does have a point. He does have a point. But I want to let him keep going, so.
Means you get the numbers. Maybe you understand a little bit of the history. But see, it's way deeper than that, because, you know, when we think about slavery, we think about the physical costs of slavery. And they're horrible, no doubt. But I think today, what's more relevant is something else. Where are you from? Not in the U.S. Where are you people from? Odds are, if you're white, you know Ireland, Scotland, England, Germany, Italy, Greece, France. Where are you from? And based on your answer, I can tell you all kind of things about you. I can tell you whether your gravy is red, brown, or white. I can tell you what kind of booze you probably drink. Tell you what kind of food you eat. Tell you what cuss words you use. Translates into a lot of things. The values you instill in your kids, the jokes you tell, the biases you have. My kid's 4 years old. One of them. He's 4 years old. If I look at him and I say, ooh, ah, he's going to go up the rah. Now, if you're Irish, you just laughed. If you're English, you probably got a little mad, because that's part of your cultural identity. If you're not either one of those, you have no idea what that means. 4 years old. Kid doesn't know where Ireland is. Couldn't point to it on a map. But it's already starting to get ingrained in him. He's already being able to take pride in that cultural identity. Why don't we have Bantu pride? Congolese pride? Why don't we have that? See, the sociologists, you know, they like to point to black pride and say, oh, well, it's a healing endeavor. So, you know, black people can get together and they that, they can join in that struggle. That's a cop-out. That is a cop-out. That's a whitewash of the reality. The reality is that slavery ripped that from them.
He's right. Oh, he is so right. You're hitting the nail in the head. Let's keep going.
They have black pride because they don't know. I don't know. It wasn't in the slave owner's interest to keep track of the cultural heritage of his property. So that cultural identity that shapes you, it does. Think about it. Think about how much of what you are as a person is linked to your heritage like that. Stripped away, gone, and it got replaced. It got replaced. Down here in the South, especially out in the country, you go into a black kitchen, somebody is going to know how to cook hog giles and chitlins. Pig's feet. Down here, that's seen as black cuisine. That didn't come from Africa. Not the way pasta or shepherd's pie came with us. That came from the plantations. That's what the slave owner threw away and let them eat. They endured that for so long, it became part of their culture. They endured it for so long, they got good at it. Found a way to make it flavorful.
Y'all hearing this, right? By God.
No, I can't understand what it's like to be black in the U.S. I can't understand what it's like to have my cultural identity stripped away and replaced with the knowledge that when my granddad was a kid, people didn't think he was human. Or that what is seen as my cuisine is because we got good at cooking trash.
Boy, he owns something. He owns something. He hitting nails. That nail deeper in the wood, and he's still slapping that hammer. Golly.
That's going to affect a people, a collective people, on a very deep level. When you say get over it, we're a long way away from that. We're a long way from getting over slavery. Yeah, the physical scars, they've healed. They have.
Not really, but go on.
Cultural ones are still there because it's gone. It was stripped away. Just vanished in the air. And I really want you to think about how much of who you are as a person comes from the old country. And then imagine what it would be like if you didn't have that. And if what it was replaced with wasn't love of the red, white, and blue. Because the red, white, and blue didn't love you. It wasn't that long ago, guys. There are people alive today that dealt with some pretty horrible stuff. And it's getting better. But it's not solved. That problem's ongoing, and it's going to stay ongoing for a while. I've seen people say that they're not African American, that they're just American. And I love it. Good for you. I cannot wait until the day comes when all of us just leave those national identities behind and we're just people.
I look forward to that day too. I'm with you on that.
That's a long way off. And until then, we're going to have to address our history. And while we may find it uncomfortable to address our history, because we don't like it. We don't like the things that our people did. Understand there's some people that don't know theirs. They don't have that source of pride to reach back to. I actually think that's why that Black Panther movie did so well. Because it's just like, you know, just like every European ethnicity has that origin myth, you know. It gave them that. So, it's just a thought. It's something to think about when you have convinced yourself as a white person that you truly understand what it's like. Take a step back. It goes a lot further than to have a talk with your kids about how to deal with cops. Your entire cultural identity was ripped away. Anyway, y'all have a nice night. Thanks for the insult, because it gave me something to think about.
I agree with 99% of what he said. Only reason why I say 99% and not the 400 is all because when he said that the physical wounds have healed, not really. Because I believe that in my mind, slavery is still here. If it's not called slavery, it's called what it's been called ever since the Civil Rights Movement, and that is racial prejudice. The thing is, racial prejudice didn't originate in the Civil Rights Movement. That's where everybody got it wrong. Racial prejudice originated when slavery started. It started from there. So we categorized racial prejudice as slavery because it was hand in hand. So do I believe slavery is over? No. That is the one thing that I did not agree with, but I get it. I understand. I agree with everything that he said. But to truly say that slavery is over, no, it is not. Because until the racial prejudice that was birthed from it dies, then slavery will not die. Slaves still exists. They just not called slaves no more. It still exists. But as a people, look, it's February, it's Black History Month. Celebrate, do all that, but at the same time, you need to remember, refresh, remind yourself so that you don't repeat it. Every race, not just the black people that's out here posting with their fist up, their hands crossed, not just the black people that's out here celebrating the month, but even for every other race. You need to know. You have to. Remember, refresh, and remind yourself so that you don't repeat it. But that's it, y'all. It's the realest and only until the real should I reveal this. And if it ain't real, you ain't